Huge data sets typically have two problems. So processing them can be very slow, and this can be fixed doing parallelization. But a second problem with huge data sets is also that they don't fit in the memory of your computer. R typically will process everything in the memory of your computer. So everything needs to be there, the data needs to be there, the packages and the functions that you're going to use need to be there. So everything is done in the memory of your computer. Working in parallel makes this worse, especially with the Snow backend, because when you use a Snow backend, your data will be transferred to each of the additional R sessions that was initiated. And so it means that your data will be copied. And that takes up even more space in the memory of your computer. In theory, multi-core backends should share the data in memory, but in practice, this is not the case. And that's related to how garbage collection in R works and the fact that you are continuously creating and destroying R objects. Specifically for the problem of huge data sets that do not fit in the memory of your computer, there was a fix developed for R. So if your data set is bigger than the amount of RAM that you have on your computer, you can use what is called HDF5 files. So for instance, in the single cell analysis world, they are heavily used because you have big data sets there. What is the benefit of these HDF5 files? Well, they work much more efficiently because at no point they will load the full file in the memory of your computer. So at best, subsets of your file will be loaded in the memory of your computer, but they are much smaller, so they don't hamper the analysis. This is an example from the single cell course. So if the data is in this format, HDF5, you will typically have a file that looks like this, .h5, and you will have specific dedicated functions for importing that kind of files. So again, this is an example from Sura. So this is the function from Sura that can import an HDF5 file into R. And as I explained, it will not import the whole file. So it will not put a whole file in the memory of your computer, but it will just put the things that you need at a certain point in the memory of your computer. So sometimes binary files are used to reduce the size of a file. So binary files are files that you cannot open yourself. So you cannot read them because they are not text files. They are in binary format, but your computer can read them because your computer works based on bits and bytes. So your computer can read them, and typically they are much smaller than a corresponding text file that has exactly the same content. There is a package in R called Matter that you can use for importing binary files and converting them into a matrix or a list.